Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Crushing Through Life podcast with your hosts, Rob and Jim. Check us out everywhere. Like I said in our last episode at the end, linktree.com/crushing through life. You head over to a web browser. Hopefully you know what that is. In the address bar, type in linktree.com/crushing through life. And you'll get a link tree of all of our links to every single page that we have, including YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you'd like. We're there. So go check us out there. What's the date today? It's June 29th, 2021. And as always, let's start off with today's quote. This is my invariable advice to people. Learn how to cook. Try new recipes. Learn from your mistakes. Be fearless. And above all, have fun. That quote is from Julia Child. And Julia Child was an American cooking teacher, author, and television personality. She's recognized for bringing French cuisine to the American public with her debut book, cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, and her subsequent television programs, the most notable of which was The French Chef, which premiered in 1963.
She was in a movie. She was. They portrayed her in a movie called Julia and Julia. Did you know who starred in that one?
I do not. I didn't even know that was a movie. I am aware of who Julia Child is, but I didn't know there was a movie about her. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was Meryl Streep. She crushed it.
Have you watched the movie?
No, but I'm pretty sure it was like.
But you're pretty sure she crushed it.
It's Meryl Streep. Did she not? But no. I remember when it came out, everyone just said this was like one of the more realistic portrayals of someone that. I mean, it's Meryl Streep. She's never done a bad job. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, I had not seen it.
She was okay.
I think Amy Adams was in that as well.
Meryl Streep. That's the one. She's the one in Devil Wears Prada, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's been nominated.
What? Yeah, she's such a good actress.
Oscars ever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What other movies was she in that was she's really good at?
I'm pretty sure she was in. I think she was Sophie's Choice. That's like her biggest movie ever.
Well, the reason why I asked is because I was going down this rabbit hole last episode of grabbing like critically acclaimed movies I have never seen before. I've watched Devil Wears Prada and I love that movie. That movie's awesome. But like Meryl Streep's an amazing actress, and I really think I should probably just dive into her catalog and check everything out. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, it depends on, I guess, like how far back you want to go because she's been doing it for so long. Oh yeah, Mamma Mia, she was in. Into the Woods. The Iron Lady. That's right.
Boom. There you go.
Julia and Julia is what it's called.
Julie and Julia. Okay.
Yeah, she played Julia Child. She was in Doubt, Rendition. There's the list goes on and on. Devil Wears Prada, and like this is still in the 2000s.
Yeah.
She was acting forever. I think she might be in one of my mom's favorite movies called Out of Africa, but I could be wrong. If I am, I apologize. Anyways, yeah, she's quite good.
Yeah. Awesome. So
The Deer Hunter.
The Deer Hunter. Yeah, I've seen that. Amazing, right, yeah. Amazing movie. Yeah. So this past week, rather, I had an assignment brought forth to me, which was to create a presentation. So a bunch of slides and all
work,
that.
Sorry,
this is through work. Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was your course you were talking about last week.
Oh, right. Yeah. This is through work. So my boss came up to me and she wanted to set a meeting with our CEO and
big time.
Basically have like a security posture overview of where we're at in the land of IT security and all that. So right away, I'm like, okay, like this is going to be. How much
time do you have to prepare?
Well, actually, the original meeting was tomorrow.
And here we are making a podcast.
Yeah. No. It actually worked out because he got caught up with something this week, so it got moved to next week. So we got a week ahead. But it was it's nothing too crazy. It's like 6 or 7 slides that my boss wants done, and then we're going to be presenting it together and just kind of give like an executive summary, so to speak, of where we're at with our infrastructure and our network, and how secure is it, where we're lacking, and all that. So it's great. It was actually great timing because we worked with a outsourced we outsourced a company, a third-party company that we typically work with. It's like a service provider, and they recently did an external penetration test and a security test and all that externally within our network, and did an entire security posture overview and presented us with reports and all that. So we already know where we stand, but it's just the matter of like how we're going to lay out this presentation and how we're going to present this information that was paid for from a third-party company and all that.
Okay.
So I actually had a meeting today with my boss, and I wanted to kind of, I guess, reiterate the fact that like how important a role of a director is. Like my boss is fantastic. She's like a person that like if you have like a load of work in our department, you're not sure of the direction you should take, she's the director. She'll like, okay, this is how we should lay out this presentation. Do this, and this, and this. I like what you did here. Let's move this. Let's combine these 7 slides that you made and make them to 2 slides. That sort of thing.
Right.
And I like that about my boss a lot, is that I can really like, as a manager, you want to present your information well, but you're not sure of, you need some sort of guidance, I guess, from someone
sure.
who's had years of experience of presenting information, right? Mm-hmm. So after having that meeting today with my boss, it was so much more clear of what we should do, and maybe a little bit more relaxed of presenting or creating the presentation for the CEO. So.
I mean, that's still pretty nerve-wracking all the way to the CEO, but which is obviously a great opportunity for you, right? To show your show what you're capable of, especially if the presentation's good.
Right. He has the responsibility of presenting that information to the board. I'm sure there's executives and other people that certain stakeholders that want to know how protected we are at our company, and we want to relay that information. And it's a tough position to present that information, because obviously you want to be like, yeah, our network's 100%. There's no problems whatsoever, but that's never the case. Every single IT department, there's gaps and holes and all that you want to fill as much as possible. And there's an understanding to that. I think everywhere you go, there's any company that you work for, there's going to be security issues. You try to be as tight as possible, but there's you could always do better, essentially.
Right. Even somebody to just like audit and make sure that it's good. I mean, I'm sure that's happening all the time, but sometimes you just like, you need some sort of second eyes, second pair of eyes, in fact, or whatever it takes.
That's part of my new role as a security manager, is that I need to start auditing logs and all that, and see who's making changes, right?
Right.
That's going to be like a new policy that we're going to set going forward, just to make sure everything's kosher. But yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. That's great. Like I said, great opportunity for you. Really show honestly what you've been working on and what you've been working towards for a while. So
yeah. And you know what? One thing that I didn't even think about that she suggested, which was perfect, was okay, this is all great. We're happy with the layout, and then at the end of the presentation, you should have your final slide as like the list of accomplishments that you've done so far. I'm like,
ooh, even better.
That's perfect. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like so you could. That's. I was going to say you could just lace it in to be like, well, when I was working on this, and then just like kind of drop it in between. It wasn't. It was also similar to the time when I did this, and then you just sort of like list all your things. But it's depending, kind of sleazy if you do it that way.
For sure. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. Like that's something that I'm dealing with as like my top priority right now in my work. And I just wanted to like highlight that importance of a director position, having a great boss or someone that you can talk to relate that information, and they'll help you guide you to present that information to higher than someone than herself, essentially.
Yeah, right? Definitely. And you want to be obviously quick to the point. And, there's people who are just excellent at kind of getting the maximum out of the minimum, so to say, where, you want the presentation to not be too long so that stuff gets remembered, but it has to be long enough a lot of the time, where it has to be long enough as well so that enough information gets across. So you have to be really selective with what you're saying, and each sentence is important, to build up kind of your case or whatever it is that you are presenting. In this case, it's obviously pretty serious for a big company like yours.
Right. Like I was actually like, my slides contain a lot of detailed, granular stuff where, it was kind of looked at as like, no, you can really kind of summarize it in a couple of slides. And she was absolutely right the way she kind of visualized that for me. So that was great.
It's nice that you have that relationship then, where you feel comfortable enough to take advice and not have it be, egotistical or, where it doesn't come across like you're not doing a good enough job to begin with, kind of thing. So, and that's important in a director as well, that they can't just demand perfection from you. You can work and see like, oh yeah, I didn't think of this. That's a great, great chance to do this.
Right. Or like even her saying, I don't like this, you should correct this or whatever. And I feel like that has come to me personally through maturity over the years, especially in my career. Because I feel like maybe if my younger self or starting in my career, like I probably wouldn't have took criticism as great as I do now, where like, you start to feel like emotional, like
I worked so hard.
I effed up, or like, it's not good enough or whatever.
And that's how like you get so much stress on you. But if she says, hey, you could shorten this, and you're like, F you, this is perfect. Like, you don't know the detail here, but it doesn't, maybe you realize it doesn't matter, and you're trying to get the point across. And so it's pretty cool that you have that relationship nonetheless, right?
Yeah. She's great like that. But then that also ties into, I think I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, or a few, I can't remember, that I did perform a presentation in front of the entire company at one point through our Microsoft Teams live event and all that. And I had 500 people or whatever watch that. It's a little bit harder when it's someone in a higher position, like just watching, you're like, how's our security posture? So there's a bit more weight to it, but it's okay. I'll be fine. Again, like I said, I think the podcast alone is helping me with my public speaking and all that. So
and even since you said that, it's probably been a couple months more, more practice, more confidence. Because I think that's part of it too, right? If it's confidence, not arrogance, you get remembered for that. You just, you seem competent. From your boss, and be like, that guy knew his stuff. Like he's solid, eh? And just like, having just the higher up say that about you is pretty cool. So or you kind of catch their eye, maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. And they realize like, this guy's really good. Well, what an asset, all this kind of stuff. So
yeah, fair enough. So let's say,
are we going to get to it?
Are we going to you start, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So
it's your top note there.
If we're going to talk about the weekend, Robbie and I got to see each other for the first time since I think the cottage last year, right? So
that's I think so. Yeah.
It was pretty obviously pretty exciting. A friend of ours, Nick, his family was hosting a charity golf tournament at a course called Kettle Creek, and for me it was kind of cool. I haven't played that course in I don't know, maybe since I hit like 18. So it could be a long time. It's, for those of you who don't know, it's a par 3 course. There's only par 4s. There's only 4 par 4s in the whole golf course. I think it's par 58. And what was cool is this is the first golf course I ever went to when I was young. So I golfed with my dad. There, my family actually used to have the Kelly Family Open. And, we'd have prizes and all this stuff. So it's always been pretty special, I guess, for that kind of reason. I have a lot of memories there. So
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that you did like family events there too. I had no idea. That's
yeah.
cool.
So actually, my aunt that you met the one time when you were doing computer stuff at her house, and
right. Yeah.
Actually, this is a funny story. So how did it go? You were there to check up on her computer, or what were you doing there?
So
or was it her office?
Someone at work, where I work, had a friend who needed some help with her computer. So I go to her house, which was in the same town, and ended up working on this person's computer. I was getting paid for my time, no problem, just doing some additional services outside of work to make some extra cash on the side. While I'm working on the computer, I see a picture of your face, like framed up on the wall, and I'm like, this is like, I'm talking like half an hour into like fixing this person's computer that I have no idea who it is, like, you know, and I'm like, do you know Jim? And she's like, yeah, that's my nephew.
That's my godmother.
That's your godmother.
That's my godmother.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yes.
So funny, man.
Because
I was like, yeah, pictures. I was in a band with him.
Yeah, you sent me those pictures, and I don't even know if I probably had. I would have been over to her house, but I didn't remember those specific ones. It was like me wearing Cookie Monster slippers.
That's right.
I think, which I would definitely rock now.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So you met her there, and it's the kind of just, it's a small world. But yeah, so it's always been special to go back there. And like I said, that was the first time my dad let me play a hole of golf. I was his caddy the first year I ever went. Right. And, it's just cool to kind of be around it, like all the adults playing golf, it was a big event, that kind of thing. But, so this kind of brought it all back with Nick's family sort of running it and seeing, all the banter that goes on. And every golf tournament has the same banter. You get in there after 9 holes and someone says, how'd you shoot? And you list the number and they're like, great, how was the back 9? It's whenever you finish your full round, right? It's a terrible score or it's a good score. And then like,
right.
Anyways, it was pretty fun. So there are a couple other friends there. Obviously Nick, Rob, our buddy Mike picked me up in the morning. He lives in London, so it was a hell of a drive for him. Good commitment. He had to pick me up, I think, by 8:30 or so, and then we got there about 9:45.
Wow, amazing! That's dedication. That's a great friend to have for sure. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, definitely.
If you ever listen to this podcast, which I'm sure you do not because you have zero time in your profession, our buddy Mike is a doctor. He's a family doctor who is absolutely crushing it right now. In fact, I'd probably call him the crusher of the week if we could.
We can. Yeah.
All right, Mike, you're officially the crusher of the week.
Crusher of the week.
There you go.
The doctor.
He mentioned to us, which was a surprising stat since he started his practice, that he's currently at 350 people, which is pretty wild. So
and he started it in April, I think. So, it's only been
wow. I didn't realize
3 full months, and he has 350 people. Yeah, he said it all just came together so quick. But yeah, good for him for taking a big leap.
Also, he's joined our daily workout group on WhatsApp. So he's
up to 2 already.
Absolutely. Yeah. Boom. There you go. He needs to get that stress out, I think, from the office.
Not a bad golfer either. I think he did pretty well on the course.
He did pretty well. Absolutely.
That was the first time you and I golfed together, I think, eh?
I did horribly. Oh my goodness. Like, yeah, definitely first time golfing together, but man, I haven't golfed in like 2.5 years, and I was rusty.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played that bad. I shot a 101. Oof.
You know what? It's so for me, like, I don't play golf that often, and I always say I'll never get any better because I don't have time. So the only times I go out to swing a club, I'm playing on the course. And when I'm on the course, I don't want to try stuff because I also want to do well. So I'm just going to be the same skill set forever until you like take time to actually practice. So for me, that course is very tough because I don't play enough to, have all these different types of wedges and all these things. Like I have a pitching wedge that I could hit. I don't know because I don't go to the range. And then when I'm on the course, do I ever hit it perfect? Probably not. And I don't know.
Your chipping was amazing.
I did chip very well, but when every hole is about 110 yards, and I have a club that I think I can hit 120, so I can't really take a full swing. But then I'm in my head and all this stuff. So for me, I find that range to be very tough. Like I'd actually be better off just choking up on on another club, like a 3-iron, and just hitting it down the middle every day. We actually got really lucky now that I'm thinking about it, because it was pouring rain when we were getting in there and just like getting settled. And then after the first hole, it just stopped basically for the whole day. And it was supposed to thunderstorm all day. I remember looking it up in like our tee times 10:13. The thunderstorm started at 11 o'clock. I was like, this is great. It's a short course, but not 30 minutes short.
The weather gods blessed us that day. That's for sure. It was just overcast, which was perfect because the day was so humid and hot, and it was windy. So, kept us cool.
There was enough breeze where it was comfortable.
Yeah. It was perfect. The one thing that did not make me comfortable during that whole course was that plate of nachos that I picked up on hole 16. Let me tell you that much.
I passed. I was too full. I just yours were loaded. You had loaded nachos. Oh my God.
It was too much. Yeah. I had and picking up this like plate of nachos on hole 16, which is like part of like the food that they were giving out during the event. Like holding this plate of nachos and like I just trying to like plow through this loaded plate of nachos during golf. Yeah, I shouldn't have got those. Like my stomach was like, oh, that was too much afterwards. And then we ate after that.
I was just saying, you seemed to find at lunch like 40 minutes later.
Yeah.
But I guess that's enough time, right, to kind of settle down and do that. But I mean, overall, great day. It's just such, not being outside with friends for so long. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered to me if it poured rain. Like it was great to be out there with you guys.
Yeah.
To see our other buddy Rob
after so long too.
Mike, Nick, Yeah. I hadn't seen Nick since his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Rob I hadn't seen since last summer, and I think I hadn't seen the doctor since maybe the previous one. One day he just messaged me and said, I'm coming to the Philly in Aurora. Saturdays are for the boys or something, like, let's go. And then we got there and it was the new Philly, and it was they're like, oh, we close now. It was like 11 o'clock and they're like, brutal. It's Philly is not what it was. We're closing. So we went down the street to Shoes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, you know what? I think I saw Nick McKiley there that night too. I have to get Rob to confirm. Rob was there also.
So interesting that you mentioned that particular course that you used to golf with your dad when you were a kid, because when I was getting my clubs ready before heading out to the course, I was putting a little bit just like in my house with my son. My wife was like holding a cup, and she would move the cup to wherever the ball was going. So
cool.
So bless her heart.
Yeah.
But my son was running back and forth, bringing the ball back and forth, and he was having such a great time that he wanted, like, I'm like, here, man, have a shot. And seeing him like hold this adult putter was so cute. I actually should have took video of it, but
I'm surprised you didn't. You're usually pretty good at that.
Yeah, some moments, man, it's just like you're just treasuring it. Like you even forget about that stuff. I'm usually good at taking pictures and video and all that, but like it was just so cool to like see him hold this putter. Like I'm helping him, and just taps it in.
Just tap it in.
Just tap it in. But he knew, like, Daddy's going golfing and with his friends and all that. And he wanted to come with me so bad. And I'm like, oh, buddy. Because we play this Xbox game called Golfing with Your Friends, which is like a mini putt game, and he loves it.
Oh, that's great.
He plays with us. And he wants to golf so bad, and he's 4. And I'm like, I'm gonna take you to a mini putt for sure.
Nice.
And like I honestly, I cannot wait for that father-son, like that first father-son tournament. Obviously when he's a little bit older, that he's got his own set of clubs or whatever. Like when did you first start golfing? Like,
so
would you say 10 years old? Younger than that? Like my son's 4, right? So
I'd have to ask my dad. I would feel like it was, the first day that I was talking about where like it was at that, one of the family tournaments. Maybe I was like 8 or 9 and he just let me caddy, like not really old enough to, the thing is I'd never swung a club. So I'd just be taking forever out there. I mean, it's probably kind of a good course for it where my shots wouldn't matter, but maybe 10, maybe
around
11,
that age. I think I'll start taking him to like the driving range or whatever. Speaking of which, though, I remember seeing a video on Instagram of like this young kid who probably looks like he's my son's age right now and absolutely smash it.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at people who, like how old were you when can you skate? I don't know if we've ever gone skating.
Can I skate? Yes, I used to skate, but like the last time I got on skating, man, grade 9. Probably.
Okay. So, but like,
so probably not right now. I don't know.
Right. So I guess, for me, I'm pretty sure my parents said that the moment I could walk, they had me on skates, and nice. I was obsessed with hockey, and I'd walk around, everything was a net, everything was a puck, and everything was a stick, sick. No matter what it was. And I would just use it to play hockey. Yeah. So when you're young like that, and you're already doing it by the time you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, like, those kids probably watch, if their parents are obsessed, like their mom or dad's obsessed with golf or whatever, they just see it and then they're just wanting to do it. Like that's how those kids, I think, get into it at that age. Sure. And then their parents, just the same that you would do. Like when I see Nico doing math problems and learning like, how to recite pi and that kind of thing, like obviously how many kids know how to do that, So it's the same thing. It's just like, it's a different example, right? When you see stuff on Instagram of them doing it. However, those, like, I've seen videos as well of those kids that are like 4 that can smash the ball. The tag's always like, or the caption's always like, tag your friend that would lose to this kid. and
that's a like great tag.
And everybody just, because it gets all the comments, because it is pretty good.
All right.
Right. But yeah, so, I would, my sister and I used to play together. She probably started younger than I did, actually, because my dad and I would do it. So then, she was more into it as well. And my mom also golfed, and then the whole family golfed. So, pretty golf heavy sort of background, like makes you want to play when you're younger more. So, but I mean, I'm sure you could have him at the driving range this summer. Maybe he loves it. And next summer he's taking videos like that, where he just picks it up and he swings the club. Because I swear I was better when I was younger. I could just, I couldn't hit it, super far, but I could just hit it straight every time.
Honestly, I'm literally just gonna start with mini putt.
Oh yeah, of course. I was just saying,
it'd be a fun day, right? Mini putt with the family.
Yeah, if you like to be a prodigy now, you have to start at like 1.
Well, 2 is right out.
The reason I said that too is I actually was reading an article. I think I've said this on the podcast before, but I got really into chess sometime around last summer. One of the poker streamers I watch, he got invited to a chess kind of, like a charity sort of tournament where they got other, so like some poker streamers and some other people to be on, like kind of internet celebrities. And he wasn't very good, but one of the guys that was coaching him, has put out a couple articles and that kind of thing. And he says that, if you don't start playing chess now, by the time you're 2 or 3, like you're never going to be one of the best. It's that crazy. You have to study for forever to be a grandmaster, that kind of thing. So,
wow.
I mean, chess is super complicated, but I would imagine a lot of things, are like that, but it's not to say that you can't do it and don't give up because you found a passion at 15. That's not the message I'm trying to give out. It's just, chess in particular, this guy said that his son was really good at 9, but he's like, no, your time has passed. Like, don't try to be a grandmaster.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Fair enough. That's good advice.
Where's the closest mini putt towards you guys? Or to?
I have no idea, actually. I know there's one near my parents' house. I know where that is, which is like 5-10 minutes down the road. But no idea where. I've never looked into it. Right, like.
Speaking of mini putt, there's our friends' parents that were hosting the charity. They were telling me a funny story about our friend Nick, that when he was younger, so right down the road from where we golf, there's a mini putt at Cardinal Golf Course.
Okay.
And there's a I feel like it's, I don't know, it doesn't matter the whole, but anyways, there's an airplane crash, and Miniput always has its like themes and stuff, right? So there's like a crashed airplane or something, and the hole is a runway. So right down the middle, there's like, you know, basically a painted line. So that if you hit it straight and you follow it in, you'll get a hole in one. And they were telling the story how Nick's mom was saying how Nick's dad was just chirping him when he was young, and he was getting so mad and like was going to slam his golf club down, like especially on this hole. So it's kind of funny. A totally different. I'm sure you're not picturing that when you're mini putting, but obviously Nick was older at the time. But and especially the two of them telling the story was very funny.
We should go to that hole together and just like take a picture.
We probably could have just gone down the road and hit a quick 18 there.
Oh my God! Can you imagine like mini putting right now? Like in our 30s, we should totally do it. Absolutely.
It's a disaster. I actually hate it now because I'm just bad at putting. Like when I was younger, I feel like you're just fearless, but now it's like you get the yips and whatever, and you're in your head.
Totally.
And you know, it's not as fun as I used to think it was.
So today today I've decided, okay, I got to get this car sold. By the way, switching gears here a little bit. Okay, so talking about my car that I want to get sold. Did I get another recall notice about my car? Yes, I did.
Same day.
No, not the same day. Like I would say a couple of weeks ago. I'm just mentioning it now.
Oh, okay.
So like previously, yeah, the car had a recall on it. It's a Kia Sportage 2017. Whoever has that model out there, look out for that. Possible engine or fire in the engine compartment, which is always great, having the family at risk when you drive. Very safe. So the recall, I did one recall, which was the software update to like detect a knock in the engine compartment, so that if that does potentially happen, your check engine light blinks and you bring it in and all that before the fire starts. And then I had a second recall, which I'm getting done right now, about a like possible bad fuse that also causes that or is linked to that issue or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to get rid of this car. So I'm getting the car, that recall done, which is like the final recall of this whole issue. Then I'm getting, I don't know why, but I'm getting the oil change done. I guess just to show that whoever buys it, that the oil changes have been done.
Right.
On
like
top
painting your house before
exactly
you sell it.
on top of detailing. Like I took the car seat out and all that. I want to get to the car detailed head to toe and just start listening and all that. And I'm so excited to get this thing sold, get my loan paid off, whatever is left off after paying off the loan, get rid of a big chunk of the debt, and have more cash flow to start chewing away at our debt that we currently have in an aggressive manner. So pretty stoked for that, man. I'm gonna be sad when this car goes because like I love driving the thing. I'll don't get me wrong, like it's such a great car.
That's the one you had when you pulled up at Golf In?
Oh yeah. Like it's so good. I love that car. The only thing that sucks with that car is the fact that my family might die. On top of that, it sucks on gas. It's not very fuel efficient. But when I saw that recall, I was like, I gotta get rid of this thing. And you know what? I make it a huge deal, but like it's probably fine. Like the car, it's, you know, after this sort of stuff happens, like after, let's say between 5 to 10 cars, like the same thing happens over and over again. And let me tell you right now, no deaths has happened before, but like there's been some like engine fires and all that, but luckily no one's been hurt. Right. They do the mass recall, right? Like the huge, all right, obviously there's some sort of issue, so we got to do that. But yeah, someone asked me like, oh, you're going to sell the car? Is it going to be hard enough to sell the car? Like, who's going to buy it now with that recall? I'm like, well, I don't know. Hopefully someone doesn't know about the recall.
Right. Is that like,
right?
That's got to be a moral issue then coming up.
Well, no, I would tell him. The main reason why I would tell him actually, is because I'm going to list in the sale that there's this recall, and then the recall update, like the software update, has been completed to make the ad more pleasing, I guess. Like,
Right.
because
Yeah.
it was a big issue, right?
Yeah. If it's like all's good, then the car's fine.
Like all is good with this recall. And in fact, the Kia actually, with this recall, gave a lifetime warranty for the engine.
You smack that on there, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And 2017 obviously is going to be appealing too, right? It's not going to be millions of miles on it, which is great.
Yeah, and it's a seller's market right now with during the pandemic. So hopefully that works out.
That's the one you took to you drove to my house as well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess after just share a little bit more of kind of the weekend. So after golf we went out, we got lunch. Nick's sister worked at a restaurant nearby, which is great. Just on a patio, still 4 people to a table. But that was nice. The Italy match was on. I could have sworn Nick told me that Italy lost. So like the next day I look at it, I'm like, what happened here? I thought they lost, but yeah, they won. But I mean, it's honestly the last couple of days of the Euro Cup, not a huge soccer fan. They've been pretty insane in terms of what's gone on. It's been super exciting. I can't believe, it's the round of 16, but it was pretty cool. That kind of thing. But anyways, yeah. So after the soccer was done, we headed back all the way to my house. And it was originally just going to be the Mike that was coming. And then, you hopped in, and then Nick didn't want to miss out on a good time. So yeah, the four of us headed back. And then, obviously you.
Well, I felt so bad after last weekend.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Actually, you know what I did? I didn't think of that. So he comes right back the next weekend. Good for you. Yeah, lives up the chirping worked, I guess. You couldn't live yourself.
Let's say hypothetically, your friend wants to hang out this weekend. You would invite him over. After he.
I did. Hypothetically, invite said friend. So yeah, I gotta say, it was really cool, especially with us. The move is becoming more and more of a confirmation, and timeline is gonna just like it's already today's June 29th, which is crazy. It was just nice to have some friends, like when you have them over, because Hamilton's not that far, but it's like no one's just gonna stop by really for dinner and drive back 70 minutes. It's not that kind of thing. So usually people stay the night, and unfortunately we don't really have them over, and then the pandemic didn't help. But it was great. You guys came, and then Jess actually met up with some of her friends downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to Hess Village, like we were 22 again, or 20 years old, I guess, however old you are. And
I certainly felt like that watching the crowd there, that's for sure. All these young kids are just walking around waiting in line. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm just standing there in shorts.
Yeah. So they're going out for a night, and we're just, hanging out with the lads.
Beer.
And it was a little slow for Robbie. It was a little slow in general. Basically, once we got a drink, we just ordered the next one because it would take forever. But I got to say, man, it was just such a fun night. I've been missing that kind of thing and that energy, and just being outside. Like the weather was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
People just walking down Hess Village, having been in Hamilton for a good chunk of my life now,
right.
And seeing that street be packed at times. I don't know why that guy was walking with golf clubs at 10:30 or 11.
Tiger.
But I gave him the way to go, Tiger, as he was walking by. It was just it was an absolute blast. And then coming back, and we were hanging outside in the back patio, and our back patio, and then playing Mario Golf, like the new Mario Golf for Switch. It was just such a fun night with friends, and I just haven't done it. Like I've been wanting that for so long. So to me, it was got to be one of the best days of the year.
Right. It was definitely a great taste. Yeah. It was definitely a great taste of like normalcy, because just being at a bar and patio again and having some drinks with friends was so good, man. It's just like, because I feel like, you may talk to your friends every day, whether it be on Zoom or whether it be a call or WhatsApp group chats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you get their updates through social media, their stories or the posts and all that. But it's different when you are sitting with them at a bar and you're drinking, and just silly shit happens, and you just get more stories out of people that way. And it's so entertaining. And I definitely miss that about the world. And I'm happy that we got to experience that. What was crazy at the time, like that weekend, was we had to remain four at max at the table?
Yes, just 4 max.
So Jess was like, your wife was the 5th, who had to be at the other end of another side of the table with her friends.
Yes,
and
we had
we're
a big
just like,
bench, and it kind of was split in the middle. So we had the boy. It was like separated, the boys and the girls on one side.
Yeah. Which of course, the owners kept coming up to us because we're getting later in the night. It's like, you guys got to keep it separated. I got a liquor, or I got an alcohol inspector walking around here. Like,
and we kept moving closer and closer. Especially, it was a bad idea to have Jess and I sit there, because we should have just separated us. Because then, obviously we're gonna, the line was here, and we keep going over it to make it look like it's one big party when we did have it separated.
Whatever.
For the majority of the time,
it just naturally happens, man. As people are trying to have a conversation and all that, you draw closer into each other.
Jess loved the rose, by the way. Actually, her friend got a picture of it.
Well, you should tell the story of the rose.
Well, there's a guy, those annoying people that hand out roses for some reason. So I don't know why I thought it was going to be so much money. So originally I had a 20, and I was going to haggle with, actually, no, what I wanted to do, I only had a 20, and I wanted to haggle with the guy and try and see just how cheap I could get a rose, and then just give it to Jess. So at the time, she wasn't at the same table as us. They were actually at another table, because one of her friend's sisters was at another adjacent table.
Of course.
So they didn't come and join us until later.
Yeah.
But this guy handed out the roses. Like I said to Nick, and Nick, what's the lowest bill you have? And I think he had a 10 and a 5. And so I got both of them from him, because I thought for some reason he's gonna be like, they're 20. It's $20, man.
$20, yeah.
Just like something stupid. So I was gonna say, buddy, I got a $5 bill, and then see if he would come up. And then eventually, maybe I would do 10, and then just leave it at that. Like, if he wanted to, I probably wasn't gonna go much higher than 5. But I remember just thinking, this will be fun. Maybe it's a little mean to the guy. I don't know, but it probably is.
Absolutely not. If he was charging 20 a rose, I would say that was not mean at all. You're paying a good price if you're bargaining. If you're haggling.
So yeah, then he comes up, and I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, how much one of those roses?" And he goes, $5. Like, $5 sold. And then,
there you go.
So then I bring it over to Jess. Obviously, she loved it. And I guess at the time, you just look like a hero, kind of bringing it. And then I think I shouted, I got the number, after she kissed me or something.
To which we all
golf clap. That's right, the golf clap.
There we go.
So it's just a crazy fun night.
Good times.
Hilarity ensued.
Poor Nick ordered a party-sized pepperoni pizza and got just plain cheese.
Yeah, that was unlucky.
Well, unlucky, but I feel it's kind of deserved, because he ordered from Uber Eats versus just ordering it directly from the pizza place that we ordered it from. Do you agree with me on that one?
It's
come on, Nick.
Highly suspect. The play there, a little questionable. But
so
Nick's the kind of guy
right?
He will always be the one to buy a pizza. He'll just be like, I'm getting us a pizza. I don't care.
He's telling me to shut up right now, for sure, as he's listening.
Yeah, he's like, Rob, I hate you, if he's listening. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, he's always been that guy. Thanks.
Yeah.
I ate mine out of a pasta bowl, not one of the those little shallow ones with the lips. I guess that's the only plate we had left. Also we found a crust on my book in Mike's room, so I guess he used it as a coaster, or maybe there wasn't a plate. So I guess he just went to bed. And
Mike's crusher of the week has been revoked.
Yeah, he's up there now. He's in contention for the crusher of the week, but the pizza could bump him down a notch.
Quite, yeah. So speaking of being upset about food, my poor son Nico got really, really, really emotional, and I don't know if you've dealt with 4-year-olds and their emotions, but they spike up and down like crazy, man.
Not too often, honestly.
But yeah, he finished his chicken nuggets, which were,
Where'd you get the nuggets from? There's an important question here.
I'm going to move past that question, because I don't want to start a huge
hold
argument.
on. We got to get to the bottom of it.
Burger King.
Oh, no.
Only because, man, dude, I can get 10 nuggets for the guy, and it costs me $2.99, and it comes with large fries. That's the deal. And it's
All
down
right,
the
you know
street.
what? And that's fine. And if the
I have
little
a
guy,
family to feed, man.
that's true. You know what? Good point.
It's value. There's value to Burger King.
I like the play now. It's okay. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm 3 decades older than your son. So.
Oh man, but anyways, he was eating.
Almost,
he was eating
almost 3.
Yeah,
I'm not 34.
He was eating his nuggets, and they were covered in ketchup, per his request, and was upset at the end of his plate when there was two pieces left that there was no sweet and sour sauce. To which he started being so angry and upset that he started crying, and it just ruined his day.
Oh,
I'm like, buddy, yes,
it's totally understandable.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
He's absolutely correct in this matter, and I would do the same. I'd pull the same maneuver if I was over at your place and you had no sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, for your final two pieces after specifically asking for ketchup.
Yes.
Fair enough.
He's in the right here. He's correct. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
that's what do you use with your nuggets?
My nuggets?
Yeah, when you get nuggets from Burger King or somewhere else.
Barbecue sauce.
Let's call it the golden
McDonald's
arches,
barbecue sauce. Let's be serious.
So you know what? I feel like I'm in a minority on this one, but I get honey.
I actually, if I get the 10-pack, I get honey and barbecue sauce. I'll get both.
Okay. Yeah. Do you mix, or do you don't double dip, do you?
No, I do 5 and 5.
It's like putting your whole mouth in the dip. Jess and I are watching Seinfeld again. It's like, you know what? When that episode, when we watched that one, like, I'm sure people said it before, but you know how worldwide that must have gotten, where, people might say you're double dipping and not realize that that's like a major Seinfeld reference all the time, because it's just it's a thing, like people say double dip.
Well, it's common sense.
It is, but when it's like said as in a certain tone, people like kind of wait for your reaction to see if you.
To see if you get the reference.
Get the reference, yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, go continue on. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, as my last point here, we're coming up to July 1st, Canada Day. Pretty excited. I actually took off the Friday, which is the next following day. Canada Day ends up on a Thursday today, and I'm heading over to my parents' house for a big swim day with my brother and his friends. And my son Nico, and we're gonna do a big swim, have some cake. Can't wait for that. So, a preemptive happy birthday to my brother. He's turning 38. And
I love the confidence.
Yep. Just do some quick math here. He's turning 39. Happy birthday,
Seb. Happy 38th birthday. The original crusher.
If Nico was here, he'd be yelling at me right now. That's for sure. He one of the things that's been so cool with him is that he remembers everyone's birthday, and I'm the worst with birthdays. I'm so bad. Oh my god, horrible.
So when is his birthday?
July 1st, Canada Day.
It is Canada Day. Okay.
Yeah.
I have an uncle and a cousin that are both born on July 2nd, I believe. So happy birthday to them as well. And actually today, the June 29th, is my kind of half brother, I would say, kind of older brother, Gabe. He's our friend Greg's older brother. It's his birthday today. But growing up, I spent so much time there. He was like an older brother to me. So
big shout out to Gabe. Absolutely.
It's kind of like an older brother to all of us. You know what? I actually used to get whenever people see kind of like Dazed and Confused hazing and that kind of thing. That like Jess will be like, you never got paddled, did you? And I was like, nah, I never really like that. Did you get paddled?
Wow. Man, I don't remember.
So I'm pretty sure the Andrews did. Like there's a whole bunch of our grade that did get paddled, but I feel like I didn't because I was friends with Greg, and it was kind of like again, and it's tons of mafia references, but I felt like, because Gabe had just been there and then Jeremy was also in school. So it was like we were somewhat protected by the family. That's I would like, no one could touch me. I didn't feel invincible. But actually I do remember like the first week of school, some like grade 12 girl slapped my ass and said like, "Ooh, fresh meat" or something. And I remember being like shocked.
Wow.
I can't even imagine how bad bullying would have been before our time, because it was bad for us. And now actually, you know what? I guess the cyberbullying has just got to be way worse. I mean, that's a whole different topic, but anyways, yeah. So, Gabe Borges, great guy, looked after me. Before I go on another rant here, Gabe Borges, great guy. The whole Borges clan, actually, they really took care of me.
Absolutely. Well, I think we'll wrap this one up here, buddy. We'll see you next week. Always great talking with you. And for everyone who's listening, we hope you enjoy the show. And if you have any comments about our show or want to give us a quick shout out, please do check us out at all of our links. Again, the URL is linktree.com/crushing through life. Take care, buddy.
Thanks.